Welcome back to another episode of the Valentine Show. We're gonna try something a little different today, a little of a longer video, but a couple of very interesting story. We're gonna be talking about the whole situation with the Project Veritas tapes dropped by CNN, saying that CNN does propaganda and that CNN is just basically fake news. That CNN is trash, basically. I mean, a director, they catch him on candid camera, or they caught him on a camera, right, on a hidden camera, saying certain things about how they trick the people that see CNN into their propaganda. That's just plain and simple. And I understand, because I was a victim of CNN when I first got into the whole politic scene, because the CNN was one of my primary, or if not my primary, form of information before I know the truth of their personal agenda. We're going to be talking about the shooting in Minnesota, the new shooting. They do charge the cop, and I'm going to give you the balanced approach. If you don't want the balanced approach, turn off. If you want the hyper partisan righty approach, you could turn off, because you're not got you might not like this approach that I'm gonna tell you to this whole shooting. And we're also going to be talking about a baseball player who said he was too distraught to be able to play baseball, Major League Baseball player, because of what happened in Minneapolis with this latest police shooting, which they're already rioting and doing all that, because they know the facts already. This is just, they already know the facts, so they're gonna riot and loot stores of the people that have nothing to do with it. Makes perfect sense to liberals. Let's start with this term here, a tweet by AP Styles book, which is, why is it that the left liberals are so infatuated with controlling people's language? I get it. Because it's about control. It's about you're literally telling people what to think. They want to get up here. Apart that they want to control you physically, controlling language controls thought, right? Also, right? To a certain extent, right? And this is what these people are doing. Look at this stupidity and watch this funny response you're going to see by one of the people here. Look what it says. AP Styles book on Twitter. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Valentine Show 7. Don't use the term mistress for a woman who is in a long-term sexual relationship with and is financially supported by a man who is married to someone else. Instead, use an alternative like companion, friend, or lover, or on first reference, and provide additional details later. Pure gibberish, pure stupidity, pure foolery by people who want to change language, right? Look at this funny response here. Look at this person by the name of Courtney Kirchhoff, which I think she's a writer for what's this guy, Steven Crowder. Look what it says. I prefer skankety skank, but that's just me. Stop it with this controlling of language, man. These people are on another world, man. It's insanity, man. Continue here. Look at this, man. Look at this. This is shameful, to be honest. Minneapolis shooting. Aaron Hicks' decision explained by Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, which is a team that I love, right? But it seems like I'm a boycott them too. Along with the MLB, for being softies and for being members of the woke capitalism. This guy right here asked to take the day off because he was so distraught from the shooting that happened in Minnesota. That's right. A person that he did not know, a person that, I wonder if he's going to take the day off when a gangster shoots a lady in the head, or when a gangster shoots a baby in the chest or something like that. This is what you open yourself up to. If you do it for this person, you have no idea who he was. You got to do it for the least victim, right? Also, let's read a little bit here. Maybe 2 minutes has passed since Yankees manager Aaron Boone announced that his center fielder, Aaron Hicks, would not play because of the emotional impact of another police shooting in Minneapolis. In that time, I tweeted the news is straightforward, in a straightforward way. Aaron Hicks not starting tonight because of the situation in Minneapolis, and took a gander at the replies. The first wave of comments included, "What a loser. At least it gets him out of the 3-hole. IDC, dude sucks. Maybe Hicks can tell people to stop resisting arrest, do some good, be a leader. Yeah, let's all take the day off. Imagine this. This is insanity. And look at the horrible, weak response by the manager, Aaron Boone, who I like. Look what it says here. I will say, this is Aaron Boone speaking. I will say that Aaron is hurting in a huge way, Boone answered. And I think in a way felt like it was probably the responsible thing to take himself out, and knowing that it was going to be hard for him to be all in mentally in what is a high stakes, difficult job, to go out and perform for the New York Yankees. I don't really even give two thoughts to that. My consideration is with Aaron and his well-being, at making sure that at best we can, we support him in trying to be there as best as we can for him right now. This person right here, who has a privilege to be a blessed individual, extremely blessed individual, to be a major league player in baseball and get, thousands, if not millions of dollars, is so distraught that they killed an individual, which is horrible. A mistake at that. Everybody knows it's a mistake. Everybody saw the video where the person, and we're gonna be talking about what that they're charging this lady already. We're gonna be talking about that. A mistake at that, right? And he's so distraught because of this. Isn't it? I mean, I don't get it, because it's like, let's say they shoot or they killed an individual in a Dominican in another state or something like that. I'm not gonna imagine if I go to my manager and be like, hey, they killed this guy in another state that I never known him. I have no idea who he was, but he was Dominican. So a manager, I want to take the day off. He's gonna look at me like crazy. And if he fires me or disciplines me, I think it's just, to be honest. I find that really stupid, to be honest, to give a day off for something that, like, not taking away from the horrible thing that happened, right? But that's just, it doesn't make sense. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Helps me a lot when you guys do that. Is Aaron Hicks gonna take the day off because of this Texas cop ambush? And there's 3 suspects that they caught. Actually, they caught one of them, if I'm not mistaken, or a couple of them. I'm not sure exactly, but I think that they arrested some of the people that are responsible for this. This was like 2-3 days ago. This was April 14th, so not actually today, right? How about this? Georgia sheriff, 3 officers wounded and suspect dead, 1 held. This was in about 2 days ago in Atlanta, Georgia. 3 officers shot. I mean, you do understand why police officers do what they do sometimes irrationally, right? Some people believe that officers are like heroes and that they are not susceptible to the same emotions that you are susceptible, because now we have training. So that makes you less, that doesn't make you scared, right? You have training that doesn't make you scared, even though training might be something that might have to be taken up. It might have been the case here. We still need more details, but the lady, the officer, who's a 26-year veteran, is now arrested and will be charged with manslaughter of the Duante Wright shooting, which is appropriate. She has to go through the system and find out what happened, find the people, see what happened, and just go through the whole system. I mean, I think other citizens will go through the system. She's gonna have to go through the system too. Now, some people have pointed out that it was a yellow gun, what's it called? Taser. I'm not sure. I've seen yellow tasers. I've seen police officers with yellow taser. So if her taser was yellow and you confused it with your black gun, probably a Glock, I mean, and you're a 26-year veteran, that is, if these are the cases, again, I don't know what color was the taser. If these are the facts, then that might be a huge problem with training, maybe, possibly, right? Now, that's her fault, right? Or that's the department's fault, let's say. Now let's put, what fault did the suspect have? Why do you have to resist arrest? That's the first thing. Your resisting arrest sadly caused his demise, his death. If he didn't resist arrest, I believe firmly he would have been in jail today, but alive. But he decided to resist arrest, and it send off the chain reaction. Like, why are we not telling more people, don't resist arrest? If the police officer asks you for an ID, Just give them the ID. Why are you hiding at the end of the day? I mean, it's better to pass a couple days in jail than to be dead, plain and simple. That's just the facts. Like I said, he would have been alive today. So we have to. It's like a lot of pedestrians are being hit with cars, right? In cities like New York City. They're telling the drivers, look around corners, do all this, do all that, right? Which is great. But shouldn't it also tell the people walking, make sure that where you look, make sure that where you walk, you're not paying attention to your cell phone and just looking at it and walking blindly like a zombie through the streets. Shouldn't they be telling that to people also? Of course, it has to be a two-pronged approach. That way we get better results, right? If the driver is not looking, but the walker, the pedestrian is looking and sees the car coming, he doesn't get in the way, right? Or if the pedestrian is not looking and the driver is looking, he doesn't hit the pedestrian. What better situation than that? We got to start telling people, don't resist arrest. The moment you resist arrest, you already spark fear in that officer. He could be he could be a 50-year veteran of the force. You already spark fear in that officer. That officer is not in survival mode. He wants to get home to his family, plain and simple. I think the public has to be educated on that. There might be a need for training also for the officers to how to treat the public, etc., etc., etc. But we can't just take a wide brush here and just cast it over police officers and just cast it and say, oh, it's racism. We don't know. But politicians, evil human beings who really thrive in the destruction that in the downward spiral that the America is in right now as a society, right? As a nation, which I'm gonna do a video on that hopefully soon. They take advantage of all this and just perpetuate the destruction of America and the division of America by saying, or this was, I think Rashida Tlaib said this was government sanctioned murder, which is why would you say that? That is sheer stupidity. But they're trying to use a fearful response and emotion response the same way CNN does when they are running their commercial, when they're running their programming. They are a propaganda mill. They are interested in ratings. They're not interested in the truth and telling people the truth, because sadly, the truth doesn't sell. The truth doesn't get people glued to their seats, and they're looking for people to be glued to their seats because they need eyeballs. Eyeballs is direct equivalent to money. They need people watching. And we have, this is thanks to Projects Veritas. Go check them out. Let me give them a like. Go check them out on their YouTube channel. Go see, there's probably 3 videos regarding this guy right here, this CNN technical director by the name of Charlie Chester, who admits that CNN is just a propaganda mill. Like, I won't believe CNN if they tell me tomorrow is gonna be cloudy, right? Or I mean, you just can't believe these individuals, right? I mean, it's coming to that point where I'm not gonna be able to believe them on the weather, exaggerating a little bit here, obviously, of course, because they're just a bunch of liars, right? Like, I don't watch CNN for anything. I used to watch CNN at the beginning of my political journey because they have a logo. CNN, who doesn't know the CNN logo? Everybody does, right? And you believe as an uneducated, wow, I really look uneducated individual. You believe that these corporations and these institutions have it. They want your interest. No, they don't. They have a bottom line to fulfill and money to put in people's pockets and families to feed, and they're gonna do whatever is necessary. Some people are willing to do that to make that happen. This person, and I'm gonna just put 2 videos on here. That way you guys see exactly what CNN is. It's in particular to Matt Gaetz, right? What CNN, and not only CNN, other media do, right? But look what he says regarding CNN here.
Oh no, okay, can you define propaganda? Like, I think I know, but like, how is it? What's the mechanism?
If the agenda, say, is to like get like Matt Gaetz right now, he's like this Republican, like he's a problem for the Democratic Party because he's so conservative, right? And he could cause a lot of hiccups in passing of laws. So it would be great for the Democratic Party to get him out. So we're going to keep running those stories to keep hurting him and make it so that it can't be buried and like just settled outside of court and just if we keep pushing that, it's helping us.
You hear that? Helping us. They're just a political organization. They're a political organization dressed up as a media organization. That's all CNN is. So they really care about that, right? They care about because they have a personal agenda, right? To have the people that they want in power, plain and simple. And this is what they're doing. They're not telling you the truth. They're just gonna run this story again. And this should be the official thought about Matt Gaetz, right? And you apply it to not only to Matt Gaetz, but you apply it to Cuomo too. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, who also has some accusations and who I despise and don't like at all, right? But that doesn't give me the right to peddle some accusations as fact, as these people do, because he's on my political spectrum, or because of not. The Matt Gaetz and Cuomo situation, both of them, you have to wait for an investigation. These are just accusations at the beginning. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? But they want to keep pushing these allegations until the pressure just becomes so unbearable that they have to resign or something like that. They don't want to deal with it. They're like, oh, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to resign. And that's the end goal, whether it's true or not. Same thing that happened to Kavanaugh. These are propaganda mills adding fuel to the American bonfire or the American downward spiral. It is insanity, and all in the name of money.
That's propaganda. It's helping us in some way.
Okay, so that's that. And look at this also video. This is regarding the whole COVID situation and why CNN has on the right side the COVID numbers and all that, because they're tapping into fear. They know that, and they're doing it on purpose because they don't care about you.
Sad news doesn't do well with ratings, like if you can get someone impassioned, that does really well with ratings. Sad news back to back to back doesn't do really well unless it affects them directly. COVID, gangbusters with ratings, right? Which is why we constantly have the death toll on the side, which I have a major problem with, that we're tallying how many people die every day. Because I've even looked at it and be like, let's make it higher. Like, why isn't it high enough, today? Like, it would make our point better if it was higher. And I'm like, what am I rallying for? That's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Seems like this guy right here, to be honest, it seems like he has some type of there's something inside. Go watch the whole video. It's something on the inside that's making him uncomfortable what he's doing as a job, right? He says he has a problem with that we're tapping into people's fear that they were constantly running COVID numbers on the right side. And he says it will be better, or make a point better if the numbers are higher. Like literally the death of human beings. He catches himself doing that because it's propaganda. This is what these people do. And look, regarding, let me just find this video, this timestamp here, regarding the situation with the whole Trump thing. Look what they said regarding Trump. I mean, these are just the facts, guys, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I think when you ever meet somebody that you feel like you're being gaslit by, start to listen to how they word things.
What do you mean?
Inflection, saying things twice, there's little subtleties to how to manipulate people.
What's the difference between doing that on a one-on-one basis or a widespread news organization?
Oh yeah, I mean it's enough to change the world.
Of course, it's enough to change the world because you have you have a grasp on information. People make decisions based on the information that they have, and if the information that you're giving them, you're providing to them, is corrupt, then they're gonna be making those decisions on corrupt information. But yet you're leading them like sheep to the slaughterhouse. But is it the sheep's fault? The sheep are sheep, right? But human beings are able to think critically, and they don't think critically. So is it the sheep's fault? I don't know. I mean, it's bad that news organizations are doing this, but it's all depending on you, also on the type of information you put in your body and in your mind, right?
You know? Yeah.
Isn't that the plan?
There's a plan. I think this time it worked with like the Trump thing, but look at the other side, how devastated they were.
You see, so they were just basically just running propaganda on you. For the whole election thing, they have their side, right? They're gonna let you know what their side is. The same way that all these news organizations buried the Hunter Biden story with the laptop, they just buried this stuff, right? Same exact thing. I mean, it's purposeful, and it's up to you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you watch the video, he says, you know who he says is the least biased forms of news organizations right now, or news where you can get your media. He says podcasts in their basement. People's podcasts in their basement doing things like what? The Valentine show. He says that. So he doesn't say the Valentine show, obviously, but he says people like us, right, are the least biased in the whole media game. So I really appreciate it if you guys hit that like button, hit that share button. Helps me a lot. Leave me a comment. Did you know this about CNN? I hope you did. And if you did, you have to tell your loved ones, and the people, share the truth. That way they don't get caught up in the lies and regurgitating these biased facts. God bless, Godspeed. Me, Valentine. I am